Hello and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. I'm your host, Stacy, and thank you for joining me today. I got a special shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for being a part of this community, and thank you again for your support. I also want to give a special shout out to my mom. She's moved on to be with her creator a few years ago. Today, she would have been 96 years old. Today is her birthday, so I want to wish her a happy 96th birthday in heaven. She's missed and loved here by myself and the family. So I wanted to make sure I acknowledged her today. So as a dedicated Chargers fan and a content creator, I do my very best to give my analysis based off my own opinions and my opinions alone that I came up with after doing hours of research, watching last week's game with the Chargers and Giants, and also the Commanders and the Falcons last week as well. I was watching that on NFL Films All Access. So the stakes are high with this game coming up with the Washington Commanders facing the Chargers this weekend. And here's a breakdown of what I think the Chargers need to do to secure victory and improve to 4-1. Like, for starters, I believe although it's a tough task with all the injuries that they have on the offensive line, but like really nobody cares about your injuries, right? So the Chargers offensive line must find a way to improve their pass blocking as well as run blocking schemes. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. The Commanders' defense do have a good defensive front that if the Chargers do not improve in those areas, they can have similar issues that showed up in last week's game. I think establishing the running game early and often is crucial to this offense moving the chains. I think that'll open up play action opportunities for Justin Herbert, who probably won't have much time in the pocket considering all the injuries they have at that position. The Chargers defensive line did a great job harassing Jackson Dart, and Tuli Tuipulotu had 4 sacks against them with a lot of pressure he brought all day. So I think they must pressure Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels, who has struggled a bit in his sophomore season so far, even though it's early in the year. But he's still a dangerous weapon. He can create plays with his legs as well as with his arm. The Chargers defensive line needs to create constant pressure to force mistakes and keep Jayden Daniels in the pocket. He must be on point with dialing up some plays that will allow Justin Herbert to exploit mismatches in the secondary. Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen had a quiet day last week against New York and needs to be more involved early to get this offense going. The Chargers appear to figure out the best way to use Quentin Johnston as he continues to ascend in this offense and has a knack for coming up with big-time plays in big moments throughout the game. He's improved so much in his route running, and we can clearly see how it's paying dividends for him. But now, I know they didn't have their best game last week on the road, but I think they need solid special teams play from this unit. The field position is going to be crucial in this game. I know they didn't have their best game last week on the road, but this group needs to ensure that their special team unit performs well. Give this offense good field position so they can put the offense in a place where they could maximize opportunities to make big plays. They must limit turnovers. Last week, turnovers got them in trouble, and the Giants capitalized on those mistakes by getting 14 points off those turnovers. Protecting the football is crucial. The Chargers must avoid costly turnovers that could swing momentum in favor of the Commanders. I can't emphasize that enough. It's extremely important to protect the football. Let me finish with this. The Chargers have a potent offense. They rank high in passing yards. The Commanders have a strong defensive line, but they can be exposed in the secondary. They have struggled against elite quarterbacks early in the year, which should be good for Herbert and his receivers. The Chargers should focus more on running the football and quick passes to neutralize the pass rush, and that will allow Roman to dial up some play action to take advantage of some of the mismatches that will be open in the secondary, right? I know there's going to be some people that thinks the offensive line is horrible and it's going to be a repeat from last week. I agree. It's the weakest unit on the team, especially with all the injuries. This team is not going to face a talented defensive line every week like they did last week with Kayvon Thibodeaux, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter. So I expect next man up, everyone do your job, and they will play better. I believe they'll be good enough to accomplish what they set out to do Sunday at SoFi. Here's what I think the key to their success on offense is in Sunday's matchup. Unleash the beast, right? They got to unleash the beast in Omarion Hampton. He has the potential to be a game changer for the Chargers, and he's shown what he could do the last 2 weeks, even with stacked boxes. His big play and potential keep defenses guessing and allow a lot of mismatches all over the field. They must allow him to utilize those outside zone runs, which you saw him have a lot of success the last 2 weeks to take advantage of his speed and his agility, allow him to stretch the field and find cutback lanes. Also, I think you have to incorporate him in the passing game, right? He's that good. We saw that in the Denver game after Najee Harris went out with an injury. Hampton was a receiving threat out the backfield and making plays everywhere. Roman has to dial up design screens and short routes to leverage his speed and create mismatches against linebackers. With Herbert's strong arm, play action passes can draw defenders in, creating opportunities for Hampton to slip into the flat or find space in the middle of the field, but they must protect Herbert by keeping him clean in the pocket. Move him around on some plays, set up misdirection plays to confuse the defense. This can help Hampton find running lanes and exploit overcommitted defenders, especially in short yardage situations. He was drafted as the second back in the first round, and now that we've got a glimpse of just how good he can play on this level, it's time to unleash him. He's that good and can be a difference maker, and that also helps to slow down the Commanders' pass rush. Man, I'm looking forward to the matchup with these two on Sunday. After sitting on that loss last week, I'm sure the players are eager to get back out there and get that taste out their mouths, right, and get back on the winning track after a tough loss on the road in a game they were favored to win. I'm really interested also to see how this team responds. I think they will. No predictions, just a really good, efficient game in all three phases and a Chargers victory, of course. Thank you for tuning in. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Be good, be well, be safe, and boat up.